One day, this ends. Not as poetry, not as a dramatic line placed at the perfect moment. It ends biologically, quietly, without asking your permission. There will be a final morning you wake up into without knowing it is the last. A last glass of water. A last ordinary thought drifting through your head while you stand in a kitchen, or sit in traffic, or stare at nothing in particular. And at some unnoticed second, the experience of being you will cease. No announcement, no cosmic music, just absence. This is not philosophy, it is statistics, it is thermodynamics, it is the shared destination of every organism that has ever metabolized oxygen on this planet. And yet we live as if this fact were optional, as if death were a rare glitch that happens to others. We schedule meetings, we argue about trivialities, we scroll through endless feeds to avoid the silence beneath the noise. We design 5-year plans as if time were a contract guaranteed by the universe. It isn't. The consciousness reading these words right now depends on fragile conditions. Oxygen diffusion across alveoli, ion channels opening and closing across neuronal membranes, proteins folding correctly, synapses firing in coordinated patterns. A small disruption, a clot, a hemorrhage, a failed electrical rhythm, and the structure collapses. The I that feels solid is a temporary pattern sustained by biological maintenance that is, at this very moment, degrading. We don't like to sit with that. It cracks the illusion of permanence. We want to believe we are exceptions, that somehow we will slip through the universal rule that dissolves stars, mountains, empires. We won't. And maybe it is precisely this fragility that makes perception intense, memory precious, a shared laugh irreproducible. Consciousness, this flickering interior light, was never designed to last. It was designed to burn briefly. What is life? Really? You've accepted death in theory. You've seen funerals. You've read names engraved in stone. You know intellectually that organisms stop. But the real question is not that death exists. The real question is, what exactly disappears? Not just a body, not merely a heart that ceases to contract. What vanishes is an extraordinarily improbable arrangement. A self-organizing system that, for a time, resisted collapse. Everything that forms will dissolve. Everything organized will lose cohesion. Empires decay, relationships transform, neural connections weaken, cells accumulate mutations, systems fail. Life is not an exception to this rule. Life is a pause within it. For roughly 13.8 billion years, the universe has unfolded through expansion, cooling, gravitational collapse, nuclear fusion. Before you were born, the world continued without reference to you. After you are gone, it will continue the same way. The self is a temporary configuration of matter capable of sustaining perception. If we want to speak honestly about death, we must start here. Life exists because it resists. It resists thermal equilibrium. It resists chemical dispersion. It resists entropy. But resistance is not victory. It is postponement. In 1944, the physicist Erwin Schrödinger asked a cold question. What is life? In the language of physics. Not in metaphor, in equations. His conclusion was unsettling. Life feeds on what he called negative entropy. It extracts order from its environment to delay disorder within itself. The second law of thermodynamics does not negotiate. Energy spreads, heat dissipates. Organized systems tend toward disintegration. Stars exhaust their hydrogen and collapse. Mountains erode into sediment. Galaxies drift apart as the cosmos cools. Your body is no exception. Right now, trillions of cells coordinate in astonishing precision. ATP molecules power microscopic machinery. DNA repair enzymes correct replication errors. Your heart maintains rhythmic electrical patterns. Neurons generate electrochemical gradients that give rise to thought. Life is not something you possess. It is something your body is doing. Moment by moment, it consumes energy to maintain internal order. It repairs damage before catastrophe. It corrects molecular mistakes that would otherwise cascade. But this maintenance is imperfect. Over time, mutations accumulate. Telomeres shorten. Proteins misfold. Repair mechanisms slow. The balance tips. This is not punishment, not cosmic injustice. It is thermodynamics fulfilling itself. Death is not the violation of life's rules. It is the moment the resistance stops. Think of the body as a vast, living city. Neurons as communication towers, blood vessels as highways, the immune system as border patrol, the liver as chemical refinery, the heart as central pump station. As long as energy flows and signals synchronize, the city adapts. If one road closes, another reroutes traffic. If a structure weakens, repairs begin immediately. A quiet systemic intelligence operates continuously. Then oxygen drops. Electrical patterns destabilize. Neural synchronization falters. The cortex, highly sensitive to oxygen deprivation, begins to fail within minutes. Consciousness flickers, then disappears. The heart stops. Circulation ceases. The network dissolves. Some cells remain active briefly, like lights still glowing after the grid has collapsed. But without systemic coordination, order cannot be maintained. Autolysis begins. Bacteria proliferate. Tissues break down. From a biological perspective, death is the loss of organized complexity. No visible metaphysical rupture. Just matter returning to dispersion. The same law that governs stellar collapse governs your cells. Biologically, death is ordinary. Consciously, it is catastrophic. The thinker Ernest Becker argued that humans live in a unique contradiction. Symbolic minds inside perishable bodies. We can imagine eternity, but we inhabit tissue that degrades. We can conceive of infinite time, but we will not inhabit it. We can imagine the world continuing without us, streets filled, conversations ongoing, the sun rising. And this image wounds something deep. It exposes an unbearable truth. The universe does not require our presence. Psychological research known as terror management theory suggests that reminders of death intensify our need for identity, belief systems, and cultural belonging. When mortality becomes salient, we cling harder to religion, ideology, nation, legacy. We want to attach ourselves to something that outlives us. The fear of death is not merely fear of pain. It is fear of erasure. We do not only fear our own disappearance, we fear the disappearance of those who structure our world. A parent whose voice stabilizes us, a friend who understands our silence, a partner who shares the unremarkable rituals that quietly define existence. When such a person dies, the external presence vanishes. The phone remains silent, the chair stays empty, but internally, the model remains active. The brain continues to anticipate their responses. Neural networks shaped by years of interaction do not immediately deactivate. Memory replays their voice. You almost hear the laugh. Grief is not weakness. It is love adjusting to irreversibility. In psychology, the idea of continuing bonds suggests that relationships do not end. They transform. Physical access disappears, but influence persists in memory, behavior, identity. Grief is love colliding with fact, and fact always wins. What happens to consciousness? Here the ground softens. We can measure neural activity. We can observe correlations between brain states and subjective reports. Damage specific regions and personality shifts. Interrupt oxygen and awareness fades. The Greek philosopher Epicurus argued that death is nothing to us. When we exist, death is absent. When death is present, we no longer exist. If he is correct, death is not darkness experienced. It is the total absence of experience, like the state before birth. But here lies a difficulty. We still do not understand why neural processes produce subjective experience at all. Why should electrical activity feel like anything from the inside? Some neuroscientists claim consciousness emerges from complexity. Others explore whether it is more fundamental, perhaps not produced by the brain, but filtered by it. Near-death experiences complicate the picture. A portion of cardiac arrest survivors report vivid awareness during periods of minimal measurable brain activity. Explanations range from hypoxia-induced hallucinations to neurotransmitter surges to confabulated memory. None fully close the case. Dependence does not equal identity. If you smash a radio, the music stops. That does not prove the signal ceased to exist. But analogy is not evidence. Intellectual honesty demands this. We do not know. Perhaps consciousness ends absolutely. Perhaps it transforms. Perhaps the self was always a local expression of something wider. Or perhaps that is wishful thinking. Your atoms will not vanish. The iron in your blood was forged in stellar cores billions of years ago. The carbon in your cells once circulated through ancient forests. Matter rearranges. It does not disappear. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are the cosmos, briefly organized as a human. When that organization dissolves, the elements re-enter circulation. Soil, air, water, other organisms. Matter continues without sentiment. There is also influence. A sentence you once spoke may alter someone's decision years later. A gesture of kindness may ripple outward beyond your awareness. A trauma you inflicted may echo across generations. You will not see most of the consequences of your existence. That does not mean they are absent. To confront mortality seriously rearranges perception. Trivial conflicts lose intensity. Artificial urgency feels hollow. The automatic pace of modern life fractures. Questions surface. What am I postponing? Who have I failed to forgive? What kind of trace am I leaving? If life were infinite, urgency would evaporate. Finitude creates contour. A book that never ends has no shape. A melody without resolution dissolves into noise. Death frames life. Without limit, nothing sharpens. If everything ends, one conclusion appears obvious. Nothing matters. If no gesture is eternal, why care? This is the gravitational pull of nihilism. But perhaps the logic reverses. Because this configuration of consciousness is unrepeatable, each moment gains density. There is no cosmic rehearsal, no guaranteed sequel, no reset. Value does not emerge from eternity. It emerges from scarcity. A plastic flower lasts longer than a real one, yet no one weeps over it. Fragility intensifies meaning. Lucidity does not deny the void. It acknowledges it and acts anyway. Not because reward is promised, but because within this brief interval between birth and silence, choice is possible. Meaning may not be given, but it can be constructed. And then, perhaps consciousness extinguishes completely. No tunnel, no transition, no observer left to register absence. Perhaps it continues in forms we cannot conceptualize. Perhaps the self was always a temporary wave in a larger ocean of awareness. Or perhaps that is the last comfort of frightened primates. We do not know. What we do know is this. You are here now, breathing without conscious effort, reading, feeling something. A point of view exists that is uniquely yours. And one day, it will not. Not as threat, as fact. The question is not ultimately what happens after you are gone. The question is quieter and more severe. What are you doing with the interval? One day, your voice will fall silent. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally. The thoughts you guard, the memories only you carry, the private fears you've never spoken aloud. All of it depends on a fragile current running through living tissue. And when that current stops, the world will continue. But your perspective on it will not. That's why this matters. To sit here, together, reflecting on mortality, consciousness, and the thin line between being and not being. That is rare. Most people avoid it. Most scroll past it. You didn't, and that already means something. If these reflections move you, unsettle you, or help you see your own life with sharper clarity, consider becoming a member of the channel. Members help keep this space independent, deeper, free from noise. It allows us to explore the uncomfortable truths without dilution. If you want to go a step further, using super thanks is a direct way to say, this matters, keep going. But hear this clearly. Simply being here, watching, thinking, sharing the videos with someone who might need them, that already helps more than you realize. This is not just a channel. It's a quiet circle of people willing to face reality without turning away. And if you feel you belong here, you probably do.